Independence Day 2025 found me trackside on Norfolk Southern's Cleveland Line in Bedford, Ohio. I was made aware that Amtrak 40, the westbound Floridian, was on yet another 8-hour delay and would be running through here in daylight hours, something that's not supposed to happen, yet has become a common occurrence on this line. The lone remaining signal at CP 110 is lit up high green, but it won't be for Amtrak just yet. The green board would be for westbound 39N, daily manifest from Conway Yard in Pittsburgh for East Decatur, Illinois. The lead locomotive, NS 4924, was the latest in AC-44 C6M innovation at the time and made its debut on this train.
Clear 112 to left south.
Tailgating the 39N was a rather early 269 with a solid raised letter K5LA. Fellow railfan Casey Borowski is across the street shooting video. After 269 passed, I knew we'd have at least one eastbound imminent. Good thing, because there was a new spot that I wanted to try shooting at. About a mile east of Bedford at RD 109 is the Egbert Road overpass. Just below it is the intersection of Old Egbert Road and First Avenue, where an access road breaks off toward the tracks. With my hopes up and my breath held, I started making my way down there from Bedford, only to find that it was absolutely covered in Ohio's finest overgrown weeds. And if that wasn't bad enough, my eastbound caught up to me. My only choice now was to dash down to a spot I knew I could see it at. It was NS 18N, loaded auto racks from Mormon Yard in Bellevue to Doremus Avenue Auto Terminal in New Jersey. This catch serves as a testament to the sheer pulling power of AC-44 C6Ms. Just 2 units, one up front and one in the middle on almost 2 miles worth of fully loaded autoracks. It was only going about 25 or 30 miles an hour when it passed me at Egbert Road, and was now doing 50 miles an hour here at CP102 in Macedonia on a mostly uphill Cleveland line. Needless to say, it left me no time to set up the tripod when I got here. CP102 in Macedonia is an excellent place to just sit back and watch the Cleveland Line soap opera unfold. A new addition to this location is the Quiet Zone, effective in 2023 for the 3 grade crossings between here and CP94 in Hudson. I've personally always been against quiet zones because all they do is silence train horns for the faint of heart who should have thought twice before moving next to busy train tracks. As we know, train horns are a critical warning device found on locomotives to alert you to the presence of a train, especially one that could be going very fast, meaning you need to get the heck out of the way. Without their presence comes the increased risk of injury and death, even at grade crossings with lights, bells, and gates. Anyways, on a brighter note, speaking of railroad infrastructure, CP102 still retains its old Conrail-era Y-pattern signals, as well as many other control points on this stretch of the Cleveland Line. Other locations that still have them include CP86 in Ravenna, CP107 in Northfield, CP114 in Garfield Heights, and CP117 at Von Willer. The ones here on Track 2 are stacked up high green for 3 westbound train movements back to back. But before any of that could happen, I would get spooked by an eastbound 6E4 with CP and KC. I knew the 6E4 was quickly approaching, I just didn't know he was already right here. Once again, I could not set up the tripod in time. What I was ready for, however, was our westbound parade. The first 2 trains would be empty frac sand hoppers returning to Chicago. Leading the way would be a flying 61X.
Norfolk Southern, milepost 101.6, track 2.
Followed by an even faster 61F.
Norfolk Southern, milepost 101.6, track
2. A more positively regarded addition to Macedonia would be a new defect detector at RD 101.6. The old SmartScan NG, built in 2004 by Southern Technologies, was recently upgraded to a SmartScan NG2 by the same company. The NG2 offers improved processing capabilities, allowing it to scan longer trains up to over 4,000 axles long. Trust me, we'll get there someday. And also offers AEI integration to scan and identify train cars, especially those with defects like hot bearings and dragging equipment. This improvement, along with many others on the Cleveland Line, including the detectors at 89.8, 70.9 and 116.5 all come in response to the tragic 2023 East Palestine train disaster caused by an axle failure due to a melting bearing that was way above ambient temperature. The westbound number 2 signal comes right back up for our third train. And yes, it is Amtrak 40, with Phase 7 P42 number 174 leading the way and an extra sleeper car in the consist.
Track 40 westbound 2 clear 102.
Norfolk Southern, milepost 10.
I reposition my camera now for an eastbound. Union Pacific train 6K4 with a Norfolk Southern Heritage unit leading the way.
Milepost 101.6, track 1, no defects.
After 6K4, I broke off for lunch and a brief visit with my grandparents before returning trackside to CP 107 in Northfield. Heading my way was NS22X with 2 units and a massive train today. Leading the 22X is NS1250, an EMD SD70 ICC rebuilt from SD70M-2 2674 in 2023. It comes equipped with AC traction, increased tractive effort, higher horsepower, and improved electronics. There's only 2 of these on Norfolk Southern's roster, the sister of which being 1251. However, it doesn't appear that there will be any more of these anytime soon.
On board, Eagle West, guys. Same location. I am told we're going to still set that lead unit off here in Rockport. Have the engine maintainer read up with you guys and see what's cooking with that second engine over.
Only 40 mile an hour. And we are going to be short on time.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Roger on the recruit. Here we go.
On the other side of the control point, playing peekaboo behind the weeds, is helper set C80 running west to Rockport Yard in Cleveland, likely to assist an eastbound later tonight.
C80 approach 107, west out.
I then move westward to that overpass I mentioned earlier at RD 109, Egbert Road, with 22H having beat me to it. There would be one last westbound on the Cleveland line before action would slack off until the evening, and here he was passing CP 107. It was 23G running approximately 6 hours behind schedule. Because it was so late today, it was actually running as I3G even though it wasn't an extra.